Good afternoon. It's 65 degrees in Richland Center at 12:09. For WRCO News, I'm Joanne Krulotz. Changes are coming to how the National Weather Service forecast wind chills. WAOW meteorologist Justin Lowe says the National Weather Service wanted to make things simpler for people to understand.
They've surveyed the public, and they said, you understand what this alert means and what that alert means? And most of the public says, no, we really don't know the difference. So that's why they embarked on this multi-year plan to simplify their alerts.
Lowe says they're getting rid of wind chill watches, advisories, and warnings.
They're switching over to something called extreme cold. So it doesn't matter if it's 30 below zero, just the temperature, or if the wind chill is 30 below zero. Either or, they're going to issue an extreme cold warning.
The National Weather Service issues an extreme cold warning when temperatures reach 30 below within a 12 to 36 hour span. It's time to get your annual flu and COVID shots. Dr. Jim Conway from UW Health says especially with COVID, it's not enough to have a previous vaccine or illness. He says the viruses keep mutating into different variants, so you have to be ready for the new versions of the illnesses. Dr. Conway says this year's flu shot will only cover 3 strains of the flu, since one entire strain of influenza was eradicated while people stayed home during COVID-19. A new Quinnipiac poll finds Donald Trump with a slight lead in Wisconsin. 48% of likely voters support the Republican and 46% back Democrat Kamala Harris. With a margin of error of plus or minus 3 percentage points, the race is pretty much still a tie. The same poll gives Tammy Baldwin a 4-point lead over Eric Hovde. Senator Tammy Baldwin made a visit to Fall Creek Monday, looking to connect with more rural voters. Senator Baldwin said it's important to connect with farmers around the state ahead of the election so she can learn more about the challenges they're facing and find solutions for the farm bill that benefit them. Specifically, Senator Baldwin noted that she wanted to increase funding for the Dairy Business Innovation Act and create more legislation to protect farmers who struggle during times of extreme weather, droughts, and flooding. People all over Wisconsin are turning up the pressure to hold the mayor of Wausau accountable for moving the city's only absentee ballot drop box last month. There was a protest at City Hall Tuesday night. The box is back, but critics say the public's trust is broken. Nick Ramos heads the Wisconsin Democracy Campaign.
The train already left the station at that point. You already created this chilling effect amongst people where they don't even feel comfortable putting their ballot into the same box that maybe their tax bill or water bill might go into.
Ramos spoke with Civic Media's Chad Holmes. The Wisconsin Justice Department is looking into whether Mayor Doug Dinney broke the law. College students are bucking old trends for low voter turnout. There was a 14 percentage point jump from 2016 to 2020. Young voters say they're motivated by issues like the environment, reproductive rights, and gun safety.
In spite of all that kind of dysfunction, they're being compelled to vote by a lot of issues they've also grown up around. This is the generation that grew up with mass shootings in schools. So we've been seeing significant numbers of 18 to 24-year-olds now voting in not only presidential elections, but in midterms.
John Marcus reports on higher education for the Hetchinger Report. The nation's unique electoral college system for electing a president, which replaces the popular vote, puts disproportionate voting power in the hands of a relative few states. It also ensures that the majority of campaign dollars and attention from the presidential candidates goes to those states. The lack of attention leaves voters in much of the country feeling as if they and the issues they care about have been sidelined. An Associated Press analysis shows that 3/4 of the more than 200 presidential campaign stops so far have been to the 7 battleground states, and that they have been concentrated in counties with 22.7 million registered voters. That's just 10% of all voters registered nationally for this year's presidential election. Justices on the Wisconsin Supreme Court say that Governor Tony Evers' creative use of his expansive veto power in an attempt to lock in a school funding increase for 400 years appeared to be extreme and crazy. but they questioned Wednesday whether and how the governor's veto powers should be reined in. Justice Jill Karofsky says it feels like the stratosphere is the limit when it comes to the governor's veto powers. The case is supported by the Republican-controlled legislature. It is the latest flashpoint in a decades-long fight over just how broad Wisconsin's governor's partial veto powers should be. 23 projects will help build a more resilient and prosperous future for people living and operating businesses in rural Wisconsin. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Wisconsin State Director Julie Lassa has announced that the department is investing nearly $93 million through the Rural Energy for America, or REAP, and the Powering Affordable Clean Energy, or PACE programs in rural communities to lower energy costs and create jobs in Wisconsin. Through the REAP program, $1.3 million in USDA rural development grants will bolster the efforts of 21 rural Wisconsin businesses to adapt or expand clean energy use. Among the REAP projects announced are several solar arrays, high-efficiency LED lighting, a wind turbine, and a grain drying system in Outagamie, Trempealeau, and Oneida counties. Additionally, USDA is investing $91.5 million through the PACE program for solar photovoltaic generation at 2 sites in La Crosse County and 22 solar arrays in Dane County. In La Crosse County, Dairyland Power Cooperative plans to use a $15.6 million investment to finance the installation of 2 megawatts of solar photovoltaic generation at 2 sites, which will be connected to a 4 megawatt hour battery energy storage system in western Wisconsin. This is enough electricity to power up to 1,000 homes. In Dane County, Stag Moose Solar LLC plans to use a $75.9 million investment to finance 22 ground-mounted solar arrays that will produce 62.75 megawatts of renewable energy in Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, which is enough electricity to power approximately 16,000 homes. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources has confirmed that tissue samples collected from 1 deer in Chippewa County, 2 deer in Jackson County, and 1 deer in Waukesha County have tested positive for the virus that causes epizootic hemorrhagic disease. The disease was detected after landowners reported healthy-looking dead deer near ponds on their properties. The DNR is investigating similar reports in additional counties. The virus that causes EHD is spread between deer by midges, which are small flies, also known as biting ants or no-see-ums. The virus does not infect humans, even if a person handles infected deer, eats venison from infected deer, or is bitten by infected midges. Clinical signs of EHD in deer often include excessive salivation, foaming around the nose and mouth, and appearing weak or approachable by humans. Carcasses found in or near water sources may also be a sign, as infected deer will often lay in water to cool down or drink. Anyone who observes a deer that appears to be displaying clinical signs of EHD or is found dead in or near water is encouraged to contact the DNR quickly. To report a sick or dead deer, email DNR Wildlife Switchboard at wisconsin.gov or call 608-267-0866. You must leave a message for wildlife management staff to return your call. Reports of sick or dead deer are important to gaining a better understanding of the disease. If reporting a suspected case, please provide details about the number of deer, the body condition of the deer carcass, the exact location, including the county and or your contact information. Cases where EHD is suspected may be investigated, and fresh samples will need to be collected within a day or two of death in order to detect the virus. The DNR will only test deer for EHD if the report is in a new county or a separate location from where the disease is already confirmed. EHD is not transmitted through carcasses or the environment after decomposition. Thus, the DNR will not collect or remove deer that are suspected to have died from EHD. The DNR also advises against handling any found deer carcasses because other harmful pathogens could be present. It's time for this week's Richland County History Moment with Richland County Historical Society President Ken Thiede.
Personal Poems by Marion Napier Paust. And now for a Richland County Historical Society History Moment. Here's the rest of the story. According to Richland County's resident Marion Napier-Paust, who has several published poetry selections, including 100 Years, Honey to be Savored, Christmas Poems, and Everybody Beats a Drum. In a personal poem on page 18, this selection is titled very simply, October. Old country roads crotchet together the fields, the hoard wild autumn spores. Past season yields are stored. Leaf boats moored in the torch-lit wood set sail to the earth aware of winter's mood, and the garden roses, shriveled, edged, frost black, hope that, when rested, April hurries back. The brook's blue fades. She sulkily complains to the aging weeds and the foot-worn cattle pit lanes. Depressed, she knows her poem will not be heard. When winter's ice veneer has stilled each word, yet wind who scatters leaves and vagrant seeds predicts new harvests to fulfill earth's needs. She hums of other seasons yet to be and shouts out for her proof of immortality. Listen next week for History of Richland County, covering the pheasant hunting in the Richland County area.
The Richland County Historical Society appreciates your support. It's been a great year with many new family, individual, and business members. Would you consider joining? For just $10 a year, individuals or families can be a member. Yearly memberships for businesses, just $20. A lifetime membership is available for just $100. Membership payments and donations can be sent to the Richland County Historical Society, 213 South Central Avenue, Apartment 1, Richland Center, Wisconsin, 53581. The Society hopes you're enjoying these weekly history moments.
To celebrate National Farmers Day, Organic Valley is bringing a first-hand farm experience to viewers live from small organic family farms coast to coast all day long. Sabrina Service is a member of the Organic Valley Co-op. She farms near Stoddard.
National Farmers Day is kind of just an event to celebrate agriculturists across the country, but Organic Valley has chosen to take that to the next level, featuring a live stream. This is their second annual one, and it's going to include farmers from all across the country, including dairy and some chickens. This is just a really awesome educational opportunity for consumers and farmers alike to learn more about Organic Valley farmers and what we do out on our farms in rural America.
Thousands of people and dozens of classrooms tuned in to Organic Valley's successful 2023 Farmer Live Stream, inspiring the cooperative to provide a real-time farm experience this year.
We have a couple of East Coast farms. We have some in Ohio. Since this is the Organic Valley Cooperative and its base is in Wisconsin, we do have a good number of Wisconsin farms that are going to be involved, including mine, one from the Cashton area, one from the Cuba City area, and one from the Green Bay area. So there's going to be a lot of Wisconsin farms on there. And, you know, even though we're all from Wisconsin, these farms are each different and unique in their own ways. So I'd highly recommend checking out all of them.
Anyone can join Organic Valley's annual virtual farm tour tomorrow between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Service says viewers will get virtual mud on their boots, have an opportunity to ask real organic farmers questions, and see how Organic Valley farmers are protecting where food comes from.
Because we are organic, our cows and our animals are out on pasture all the time. So I think one thing you should really look out for is seeing how much fun those cows are going to be having out on pasture tomorrow. Not everything is going to be cows on pasture. There's a lot of really interesting, cool stuff being featured, but most of our farms are going to be having their animals out on pasture, and it's really awesome to be able to see them enjoying being outside, being in the grass, being in their element. Another thing you can look out for is my family. We're going to be chopping silage. So what that means is we're going out into the fields and we are going to be cutting down all of our corn, shredding it up, and putting it into storage for the winter until harvest next year. So if you come on for my family's time slot, we'll have a lot of really cool big equipment. I'm hoping to ride along with my little brother in the tractor. It's going to be really, really fun. Another thing you might want to look out for is other fun animals on the farm. A lot of these farms have farm cats. They might have a farm dog. So keep an eye out for those. And again, these are family farms. There's going to be a lot of family members involved. It's really cool to see what everyone's different job on the farm is.
The live stream will offer interactive opportunities for classrooms and activities for families, including printable educational sheets. Classrooms and families across the country are invited to sign up for the live stream in advance at ethicallysourced.organicvalley.coop/farmer-livestream.
There's some really cool opportunities and activities going along with it, including a classroom bingo. I believe the way it works is when you see things on the live stream, you can mark them down for bingo on your card. These have been sent out to teachers. If you haven't signed up and you are a teacher who is interested, though, you can go to Organic Valley's website, and they have a sign-up there where you can get more resources, including the link to join the live stream, which can also be found on Organic Valley's YouTube page.
Organic Valley farmers protect more than 500,000 acres of organic farmland across the country from toxic pesticides, providing habitat for countless plants and animals, keeping waterways clean, and combating the climate crisis. The annual National Farmers Day live stream brings these farms to life for children and adults. National Farmers Day is Saturday. Tomorrow's live stream is one more way to celebrate the farmers caring for animals, people, and the planet. It's Weston's Homecoming Week. A number of festivities are being held throughout the week. The students invite the community to support and participate in activities as well. Some major opportunities will be held Friday. They include a walkathon fundraiser for school supplies at 8:15, the annual homecoming parade in Casanova at 2:30, the FFA pork feed in the Weston cafeteria from 5 to 7, the third annual Weston Distinguished Alumni Induction at 6, and the Weston Silver Eagles will host Wisconsin Heights in the homecoming football game at 7.